We're going to dive straight in and look at the market. Today, we want to start on Bitcoin because it's a big deal. You can see we have the chart pulled up. This is the Maxi model that we've been kind of referencing a few times over the months or so that we've been streaming here. And so this is our model that we track to watch the boom and bust kind of cycles of the Bitcoin, Bitcoin asset class as a whole. So this chart goes all the way back to 2010, 2011, and you can see our indicators printing. Bear at the generally really well is calling the top of the bull markets to print its bear signals, and then it's printing bull to signify the start of the bull runs. And it's been doing that very, very accurately for a better part of a decade, more than a decade. So very, very well. And as you can see here, the very, very last candle in our line here is finally printing bull. So we have gotten our bull print in, and the basically long-term model is calling for a bull market shift here. This is exciting. I'm stoked.
Yeah, this is big news. We've been waiting for it, and like last time we did sell the top. We've played these cycles really well, and and this is the monthly chart again, like like we were talking about.
So each candle
earlier.
is a whole month here. So you got quite a bit of history in this one chart.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, we were waiting for confirmation, for it to print bull, and also our indicator has this thing called a strength band, and you see how the color needs to match the signal. So if it's bull in green, that means it's gonna go up. Bear in red just means like it's gonna go down.
Yeah.
So we were waiting for both conditions to sort of like.
And there they are.
Yeah, and there they are. So
we had played a little bit long already. If you've been following our videos, we've definitely been a little bit bullish already in the past few months, and that has to do with zooming in on this chart a little bit more than what we're looking at now. And we've been looking at it. Here's the weekly chart, and so we did get our bull print on that weekly chart. Kind of right at the start of 2023. So January 2023, we got our bull print. And then you can see, like Sid was saying, we had a bull print, but we still had the red strength band. And then so once that strength band flipped to green there, that was basically our confirmation, like, yeah, the trend is sticking around. And, from there, we've basically doubled up already because, after that confirmation.
Yeah, exactly. I think like more than doubled. And if you watch this, how our indicator works is also that our strength band kind of acts as support in a bullish trend. It acts as support, and in a bearish trend, it acts as resistance. So we can see here how, like the first price dropped, it exactly wicked there.
Yeah, and right to the band. Right to the which would then, if we are in a bullish trend, like you said, then the band should be support. And it was.
Exactly.
So you can see it found support there and bounced and continued.
Bounced, and then so even with every pullback and pump, like the strength band has like acted as support. And so this has been pretty easy basically to trade with. And if you go back to the long term, so we were kind of already like looking at the weekly chart, we were already seeing signs that the market had bottomed. Yeah. And so we had started buying spot, basically spot bags for the oncoming crypto bull market. But we were still waiting for the monthly to confirm to go all in, basically.
Yeah. So, that was also partially influenced by the kind of like trend within the cycle. So I'm glad you kind of shifted back to the long-term cycle, where you can see that the peaks, right around where we're getting the bear prints, tend to be, not the peaks, but the valleys of like the bear markets after these peaks, they tend to bottom out near the previous peak. So you can see, like you're saying, we had a little. We've been buying spot for a while. We got in a little like before this current monthly print, but a lot of that is also informed by at that time we were seeing the chart flip to bull. The price was around $18,000 to $20,000 for Bitcoin, which, if we look at the chart, the previous high was around 18,000 to 20,000.
Yeah.
And so that very much was in line with that. And so we got kind of, not only were we getting our favorable signals from our trading buddy indicator, but we were also getting, this kind of trend that you can see, and it's in line with what it had been in the previous market, and you can even see, that peak where we're at, 19-20,000, like not the
Yeah,
previous bull
that's
market, but the one before. You can see when it sold off and it dropped all the way down there. If you were to draw a line from the bottom of that just straight back, it should match relatively well with the peak of that previous one.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so
So it tends to do that in the cycles, and like Max was saying, like we've kind of already have this curve, which also acts as like points to buy
yeah,
for long term, which acts as support.
yeah,
And
and there you
so
go.
we
That's
use
why,
that.
yeah, since we
Yeah,
had hit the
exactly.
curve, we're expecting it
It
to
hit the
bounce
curve,
here.
just buy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But we also use that indicator for like a confirmation. So these are
exactly.
all like great tools that we have. And even if you don't know any of the TA, all you had to do was this: like look at the weekly chart, bull, just buy. It's
Yeah,
like easy,
yeah,
more than 2x from where the bull signal was. You know what I mean?
exactly.
And also, but going back to the monthly, like this gives us a price. This gives us an idea of like, as long as it follows this sort of channel, this curved channel that we're in, then we can pretty much estimate where the top and the bottoms are going to be.
Yeah. Or
And
at least where we want to target some profit taking, Even
exactly.
if we're wrong and the model doesn't hold true, at the very least, we can get a sense of like, hey, we have a plan and an exit strategy before we open a position. And that's
Hmm.
always, as a trader, that's always what we should be doing. We're not kind of making it up as we go along. We're making a plan and then we're following a plan.
Exactly. So if Bitcoin and crypto basically follows the same cycles as in the past, which it looks like it is still doing,
Hmm.
the next stop should be around 2025, towards the end of 2025, and that would put the price of Bitcoin around, like, I believe 120 to 130K.
Hmm. Which
So
is
around there.
great,
So
but that's a long shot from $1 million, which,
yeah, exactly. So we're not gonna. I don't know. We're not. I'm not into following all these,
the
ridiculous
hopium.
claims that like, oh, we're gonna see $500,000 million.
Yeah,
I mean, it's stayed within this model for a decade. So
yeah,
I mean, when we reach the end of the channel, of course, then there's some uncertainty whether we like break up, down, or we just flatline
flatline
for a bit.
continue.
So,
Yeah,
but while we're still trading within this channel, I think we can, it's fair to say we can kind of at least guess, if not estimate, as to like where the bottom and the tops are going to be. And like
yeah,
Max was saying, it's just another, it's another helpful sort of aid for us to like take profits.
exactly.
And there's no harm in taking
Because
profits.
it's really hard to take profits when your stuff is
Yeah,
just flying to Mars.
yeah,
If
exactly.
this is going to
So
be your first time in crypto and this is your first, like, ride on this kind of roller coaster, it can be really exciting and really cool. You put in, like, let's say you put in $100, and then, like, a couple months go by and you have like $200 or $300, and it's, you feel like you're on top of the world, and it's really hard to then take the money off of the table when, $300 is turning into $330 by the end of, tomorrow. So it's like,
yeah,
well, if I take the money, I'm missing out on the 30. So, like, there's a lot of ways that you'll then rationalize not taking profit. And so when you
exactly.
when you have a plan for taking profits on the front end, you kind of can take that emotion off the table and be a little bit more, level-headed with your trading, which,
Exactly.
taking those emotions out isn't easy. So
No,
it's
it's not.
it's definitely
And
it's a good practice to have a plan, and that it definitely helps.
yeah, and as far as like plan goes, I think our plan was, that we started entering into long positions when we saw a bull signal on the weekly, which we did the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of last year, basically, and then we were waiting for this to confirm bull too. on the
Yeah.
monthly, and to go all in, you know, which I mean, there might be dips, like you see, nothing goes up in a straight line, but every dip will just be an opportunity to buy the dip.
Exactly. That's the thing. I think the dips from here on out, the dips moving forward are the opportunities to start entering my all in, position. Because like you say, when you say like, oh, when I get this print, I want to go all in, that doesn't mean I want to, in a single transaction, throw all of my life savings into something. What it more means is like, okay, I want maximum exposure from this point forward. And so now I'm going to be looking for opportunities to get that exposure. I'm not going to
Exactly.
do it right now, this spot, whatever the price is, everything else be damned.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So we're just gonna hold. This is long-term
Yeah.
plan, more like an investing strategy. I mean, we
Exactly.
day trade every little up and down. That's different.
Yeah,
But this is
that's
more
just for
like buy
fun.
and hold.
Exactly. Yeah, that's just fun. This is more like
Yeah, that's fun.
this is
Exactly.
like an
This is just
investing strategy. Yeah.
this is like a 2-year investing strategy or whatever. But
Yeah.
what we're gonna do is basically take some profit when we see the price either hit the top curve or we just get a bear signal with an indicator. It's as simple as that.
Yep.
Once
Exactly.
we get a bear signal with the indicator, we're just going to exit. It doesn't matter what the price is.